Hi friends, welcome to another video. This one is going to be an update video on my fourth pregnancy. If you read the title, you probably have some idea what's going to happen, what I'm going to say. I had a miscarriage at 6 weeks and 3 days pregnant. It was something I never expected to happen, that I would ever experience. It was really hard. The past few days have been the hardest few days I've ever had. And I would never wish this amount of pain or even half this amount of pain on my biggest enemy if I had one. So let me start with what happened. So I on Sunday I went to go to the bathroom like at 3:30 p.m. and I wiped and there was some blood. I freaked out because I had a little bit of cramping too, but you know, cramping at that time was kind of normal too because it's still early pregnancy. And I called Mike in the bathroom and I said, "Mike, there's blood." And he goes, "Oh, that's normal. That happens to you every time." It has never happened to me. I have had implantation bleeding with Riley and this one, but that was before the 6.5 week mark. That was more like around the 3.5, 4 week mark. And it was red blood, not brown blood. It was bright red blood. So I started crying. I'm like, "I'm scared." And he's like, "No, everything's fine. Everything's fine." Because he's being the rock. He's being my rock, trying to be strong and just basically being naive, thinking everything's going to be fine. Nothing ever bad could happen to us kind of thing. But bless his heart. But yeah, so I'm like, "We're going to the emergency room. Whether you want to take me or not, I will find a way there." And he's like, "Of course I'll take you." So he went with me, and I was, when they were asking me questions, the guy was like the nicest guy ever. He kept calling me sweetheart and like really just talking very nicely to me, and it wasn't like the creepy, "Hey sweetheart," it was actually really sweet and just like nurturing. And I was just crying as I was up there telling him what my symptoms are, what is going on, to be waited for to be my turn. So I went, and then they sent me back there. They checked my blood, and they didn't get the pink cap one, I guess that's what it's called. They just didn't do the whole amount of blood they needed to do, so I ended up checking my blood again in the waiting, or in the, not the waiting room, but in my actual room. But I waited a while in the waiting room, and then I hear a little toddler, like maybe a 3-year-old boy or something, and he just kept saying, "Owie, owie, owie, mommy, mommy, mommy," and he was crying. I lost it. Oh my gosh, all I wanted to do was comfort that child and hold him, because not only did he sound like my son Riley, but I was thinking, gosh, what if my baby needs me right now? Sorry. Trying really hard not to cry. But this is going to be a pretty raw video, just FYI. I'm going to try really hard not to cry because I thought I cried all my tears already. Yeah, so I had to get up and go to the bathroom and just cry in there because all I wanted to do was help that little boy. I don't know what was going on. I knew he was hurting or not feeling well or something, and I just really wanted to help him. And, oh, come on now, yeah, good. I had a Taco Bell bag right there, because we had Taco Bell, like, last night. So, good napkin. Alright, so anyways, so I went to the bathroom, I cried, and I was getting over a really heinous cold, like, flu-like cold, like, so, it wasn't the flu, it was just a horrible head cold. But I was in there blowing my nose constantly too, and the crying on top of it wasn't helping. Like, it was just constantly making my mucus come back. But I go back out there, I'm so grateful that the little boy was seen before me. Even though I was there much earlier than him, I would have said, take him in, get him checked out first. He's hurting or something. I don't know. But so he goes back there, and then my husband has to go out to the car to get something, so I wait in the waiting room. They call me back, so I go in the farthest back room. Small, tiny little room. I'm in the pediatrics area, so in a very small room. I have a very skinny bed. I fit on it though. It was fine, but I was just like out in like the corner, back corner. Well, Mike finally comes in, and I'm just laying there in my gown. I'm just nervous and scared, and they come in and talk to me about my symptoms. I'm telling them I'm having cramping. And when I sat down, after I put my gown on and I sat down, I could feel more blood coming out, and that was really scary. So I was hoping that maybe it's not a big deal. Maybe it's just something little. And I've heard people bleeding a little bit in their pregnancies, and it'd be fine, the baby being fine. I was just trying so hard to hold on to faith and hope and just all of that. And the nurse or someone said to me, they said, "Is there anything we can do for you? Or do you need anything?" And I'm like, "I need a lot of faith." And I just lost it. I started crying so hard. It was really hard. So next person came in to take my blood again because they didn't take enough blood earlier, and so I got blood taken from here, blood taken from here, and I had to wait a while to get my ultrasound to see if there is a baby in there, or see how the baby's doing, if it is in there. And so I go back there, I do the regular ultrasound, and you just see an empty sac. You don't see a baby in there. Being 6.5 weeks, you'd see something in there. But she's like, "You know what, let's do a transvaginal ultrasound." Those are very uncomfortable. They go up into your vaginal area, but it's worth it, because if you're trying to find something, you're hoping, praying, let there be a baby and it'd be okay. Didn't find anything still. And I had to pee in a cup, so I went to the bathroom, peed in a cup, and there was more blood, and there was clots. It was really scary. So I go back in there, and back in my room, and the doctor or someone comes in, and he says, looking at this stuff, I'm looking at it more like it is a miscarriage, but there is still an ounce of hope that maybe you're not as far along as you thought you were, and the baby just won't show up. He said I have ovarian cysts as well, so that could be leading to why I'm bleeding and hurting so much. I'm not stupid, okay? I know he doesn't want to hurt my feelings. I'm really not dumb. I mean, sure, I would love to hold on to a little bit of faith and hope, and that was in the back of my head too, thinking maybe that's right, maybe it's true. But so we go home, and I'm lost. I'm so lost. What do I think? What happened? Did I have a miscarriage? Am I just not as far along as I thought I am? Is the bleeding and the pain from the ovarian cysts? Like, what's going on? So I'm lost, completely lost, and I'm just dumbfounded. Like, what do I think? What do I feel? Like, I've never been so lost in my life before. So I go to bed, finally go to sleep. 3:30 in the morning, I have to go potty, because I still, I got the pregnancy hormones going through my system still. I got HCG in me, so I have to pee a lot still. So I go to the bathroom at 3:30 in the morning, and a lot of blood and massive clots were in there, and I was in so much pain. I knew what happened, and I called Mike in there, and he just held me. And I never felt so much sadness in my life before. When my grandma passed away, that was like the most sadness I've ever had in my life before, because she was like my mother. But when I noticed that, yeah, it was indeed a miscarriage, it was the most painful feeling ever. Billion thoughts went through my head. What did I do wrong? What did I do? Did I overstress? Did I overwork? Did I drink too much caffeine with my sodas? Did I the one day I didn't take a prenatal vitamin, is that what caused this? I was just like beating myself up over this, and I was just so scared and so sad. When I was at the ER, the doctor said to make an appointment the next day or the day after to have a follow-up appointment with my OBGYN. So I did. And all that day I was so Sunday was the day I went to the ER. Monday I stayed home in massive amounts of pain, having constant contractions too. A constant off and on contractions, just to get all the stuff out of me. Very painful. It hurts more than a period, but not as bad as full-blown labor. So it was really, really uncomfortable. And I was like, I can't do this right now. I can't go see the doctor today. So my appointment was for Tuesday. So all Monday, I was just a suffering mess. My mom brought me some Hershey's chocolates because on the commercials it says it's supposed to help you feel better. And then she also brought me a guardian angel Christmas ornament that I absolutely love. Let me show you. It's this one right here. Just absolutely beautiful. And it says, "Blessings and joy from heaven above, 2018. That made me feel really good. Because I needed a guardian angel, and maybe the baby's the guardian angel. And so Monday it was just mourning. I was like, I messaged my boss saying, hey, there's no way I can come into work this week. Please understand. Because I also work at a children's and babies consignment store, so seeing a lot of babies and a lot of pregnant women was just gonna hurt me a little more. I mean, I'm happy for everyone. I've never been unhappy when someone told me they were pregnant. I've always been happy for them, but just sad for me, And I just didn't want to do that because I wouldn't be my normal joyful self at work. So I'm not going to work this week. So I had my scheduled appointment to be for Tuesday, and Tuesday morning. And, but before that, I'm sorry, on Monday, I had to go into the clinic and have another blood draw. So by the time I had my appointment on Tuesday, they'd be able to see my HCG levels, if it has risen, fingers crossed if it has risen, or if it lowered. Lady that was taking my blood at the clinic was like, why are you poked so many times? Are you a hard stick? And I'm like, no, I just didn't want to say I had a miscarriage because I didn't want to start crying, for one, and for two, I just didn't want to talk about it. I wasn't ready. Yeah. So I wasn't ready to tell anybody. So on Tuesday, I go to my appointment. Sorry, Max is walking around in the kitchen with his big old paws. So I go to my appointment on Tuesday, and she tells me that the HCG levels dropped to like 20 something, and that's really low. And I figured, I told her, I'm like, I know I had a miscarriage. I know. It's just, I'm not gonna. Hold on, let me get Max out of there. Max, you want out? Come here. Sorry, I know it was a miscarriage, but, I just needed to know for sure, and so I could have some kind of peace of mind. Well, I knew I was going to be in there, and I was going to start bawling my eyes out and being as miserable and sad as possible and just become the person I don't want to be. Because I already have depression. I already have anxiety, and I knew I was just going to add more. And I said, hey, I'm going to need some tranquilizers or something to get through this. Well, my OBGYN actually told me some news that brightened my day. actually made me feel a lot better. She said that I actually was just having a chemical pregnancy. I was like, what? What's the, what? I mean, I've heard of it, but what exactly is that? And she said, basically, the egg and the sperm, they hang out for a little bit, create some hormones, but they don't actually implant where they're supposed to go, and your body thinks it's pregnant because of the hormones. You grow a sac where the baby would be growing, but there's no baby. So I was pregnant, just not with a baby, just with the sac. And I'm like, really? And she said, yeah. And I'm like, you're saying I didn't lose a child? And she said, yeah, you didn't lose a child. You just lost a sac. And I was like, I was so happy. I cannot explain the relief that I felt, the happiness that I felt, because it wasn't that I lost a pregnancy that I was so hurt. I was hurt that I thought I lost a child. There's so many people out there that have lost children, and it's just, that is the worst pain imaginable. And for a moment, I felt that pain. But I will be honest with you, I feel so blessed and grateful that I didn't lose a child. I just lost a pregnancy. There was no baby to lose. So, I mean, I don't know. Like, I must have a guardian angel, because that pain I was going through because I thought I lost a child was the most horrific pain imaginable. Oh my gosh, it was the worst, the most depressed I've ever felt in my life. My heart goes out to so many people that have actually lost their children. My mom, she's had miscarriages before, and she's also lost a baby when he was just a couple months old, crib death, just SIDS. His name's Jared. He's my older brother, so I never got to meet him, but Riley's middle name is Jared, named after him, so just to honor him, you know, I thought it was appropriate. And that way I feel like Riley has a guardian angel himself. So so yeah, my heart absolutely goes out to people that have gone through that. And I mean, I'm still hurt, yes, that I'm not pregnant. I'm still hurt that I'm not having a baby in July like I was expecting, like I was so excited for. Oh, I was so excited. So excited. But I am so grateful and happy that I did not lose a baby. I didn't lose a child. All of my kids are still with me, and I am so grateful for that. Eventually, we will have our 4th baby. It'll be my 5th pregnancy, though. So yes, I was pregnant, and yes, I did have a miscarriage. But I did not lose a baby. So that I wanted to share that with you guys, to give you guys an update. I didn't want to hurt anybody, because I know that some of you guys were so excited for me, and just like excited to be like internet grandmas or internet aunties and stuff like that, you know, and I didn't want anyone to be hurt or sad. But it will happen. I will have my 4th child, but it will be my 5th pregnancy, unless this happens again, which I hope it doesn't, because this is too much. Oh my gosh. And by the way, the day I was going in to see my doctor, before she told me it was just a chemical pregnancy, I went to Dutch Brothers, and the lid, I still have it. It was gross. It's empty, but the lid says, "We'll get through this together." Yeah. That brought me to tears too, because I was like, how did Dutch Brothers know? You know? They're just that awesome. Yeah, I wanted to tell you guys that update. So no, there's not going to be any weekly pregnancy updates, unfortunately, for this pregnancy, because there's no more pregnancy for this one. So unfortunately that won't happen, but I will be doing one eventually. And when I do get pregnant again, you guys probably won't know until I'm closer to the 12-week mark. Just because after this happened, I'm just scared to get my hopes up and get everyone else's hopes up and get everyone excited and then tell them some horrible news. So I'm hoping that the next one will be a sticky bean, is what some people call it. My rainbow baby. It's the baby after the storm. and I'll be able to give you guys some fantastic news someday. So please stick with me if you're interested on my journey, because I will be trying to get pregnant again. I just want to give myself like a month off or two so I can just heal from this. Alright guys, thank you so much for all of your love and support. I hope I was able to educate somebody out there and help somebody that might be going through something similar or who has and just needs some kind of hope. Thank you so much for following me, and I hope we can get through this, and we will. We'll get through this and things will get better. Thank you guys for all of your love and support, and thank you for being subscribed to me and watching my videos. It really does mean a lot to me, knowing I have a community out there that I feel is my actual friends. So yes, thank you so much, and I'll see you guys again in my next video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys again later. Bye now.